Tal, thank you for coming in today. Even with all the advancements in DevOps tooling today, where do you see the challenges and gaps in this area?
Sure. I think we've seen a lot of progress around anything that has to do with the aspect of deploying the software. We've seen a lot of work done on orchestration of containers, Kubernetes, being able to ship and push code out more quickly. I think the challenges and where gaps remain is around the reliability of the code itself. We're now moving, from a software economy to a code economy. Everything's about, do you have the best application? Do you have the best and the latest features? Can you ship them out in a quick and a reliable manner? And I think the ability to see deep into the code and understand exactly, as some folks have called GitOps even, putting the power in the hands of the developers and giving them the ability to know exactly when, where, and why their code breaks in production remains to this day something that's very challenging for companies. And I think that's something that the industry will have to address.
A new role is site reliability engineering. Do you see this becoming a major part of organizations in the future?
I do. And I think, there's a lot of economic forces pushing this. All companies today are trying to keep pace with the likes of Amazon, Netflix, Google, and the likes to be able to deliver software at that level of speed, yet retain the reliability. What we've seen the move from ops into DevOps, and now deep into site, software, and engineering reliability. So we're seeing a shift left, even in the way by which we operate applications. Just a number, last year alone, I think the Consortium for Code Quality pegged the overall cost of software defects just in the US alone at 2.8 trillion, that's trillion with a T, in terms of impact to the economy. So the only way to address that is to get the ops side of the house much more deeply ingrained with that new emerging code economy. And I think we're going to be seeing site reliability engineering, I think, progressing to the point where people will be looking at almost, if not at the same level, something like InfoSec, a critical component of the success and the ability of an organization in today's software economy, as I said, or code economy, to be able to meet its goals will rely on this new persona.
And what are your thoughts on the shift left movement?
I think it's just, the economic forces are pushing it. With the cost today, code defects for major banks and financial institutions can become 9 digits in terms of their impact to the business at the highest extreme. So everything that a CIO or a CTO can do to make sure that issues, defects are caught much earlier on during dev or during QA is something they're going to pursue. What we're seeing is a lot of the focus that we usually had on the production side is now moving in terms of tooling, in terms of budget, in terms of capability into the dev side of things, which also coincides with how much code and software are just becoming a key component of the overall reliability of the experiences these companies are able to deliver to their customers.
And so where does OverOps fit into this equation?
I think for us as a company, from day one, we've always put our focus on the developer and the code because we saw that software engineering, site reliability engineering, in our mind, almost kind of the way of the future. If you look at hardware, up until 5 or 10 years ago, it was all private cloud. It was all very much, bare metal driven. Now in the world of Azure and Amazon, hybrid clouds, containers, where so much is being virtualized, everything has become software, everything has become code. And our new hero personas are the developers and the site reliability engineers. OverOps was designed from day one to provide these kind of users, these folks, with the best operational data out there. We're not trying to adapt traditional, massive, unstructured log data to fit them to these new kinds of personas in the SRE or the devs. What we're trying to do is to give these kinds of folks, the information, the operational data that they would want if they could design things from scratch today, the ability to zoom in and see how code is executing down to the most granular level in staging, in shift left, or in production, to be able to zoom out and see across billions of code events which ones are the most critical and anomalous ones. And the last thing, being able to quickly ascertain whether the issues are coming from the operational side of the house or from programmatic or code, or from the code side of the house. These are capabilities that are critical to these folks, which have a very software code-driven mindset. So we're helping those guys, and as a result, we've seen a lot of success over the past year, even in large organizations that you'd think would move much more slowly, like the Fortune 10 banks. We've seen a lot of success because they understand that to be able to compete with all the upstarts, and nowadays even you've got Apple becoming a credit card company. Everybody's under threat, and everybody's trying to see how can they up-level their development teams and get around this SRE bandwagon as quickly as possible. And we've been able to help a lot of folks with that. So things are looking pretty good on that front for us.
So you talk a lot about code level insight being critical to reliability. Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
I think it's empowering folks in site reliability and in software development, giving them the ability to see their application as it executes. Right now, today, with traditional data, they're kind of looking at the engine through the exhaust. They're searching through log files, sifting through thousands of metrics, graphs, and widgets, trying to get to the answer, trying to backtrace from an impact to customer, from something that they made, some change that they made that broke the code, trying to backtrace all the way to the point of origin. What to me code level insights mean is, can we transport these guys to the point of origin? Can we show them what was the software doing in the exact moment where it broke? Can we show them all the atoms right as they are about to explode, versus giving them a microscope and asking them or telescope, asking them to try to recreate the scene a day, a week, or a month after impact? It's getting them there right down to the atoms to see exactly what the code was doing is, I think, the capability that our customers are asking us for.
Thank you very much, Tal, for your insights today.
My pleasure.